Hi, this is Ralph Harbison. We're continuing our discussion on my blog on goals. To recap quickly, the goal is the desired outcome that a business, person, organization, or system seeks to achieve by a plan to achieve and working on that plan to achieve. Goals give you a purpose in life. They help you lift yourself out of survival mode. Also, the best goals have something called SMART objectives. SMART meaning specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound objectives. Doesn't mean they have to have all those, but those tend to be the best goals. And then we spoke about how in order to have these goals, you first have to write the goal down, and then underneath that goal you have to write down all of these sub-goals, the things that feed into that goal. Obviously, for larger, long-term goals, you're going to have more sub-goals, and then those sub-goals are going to have sub-goals too. For the shorter-term goals, or the real simple ones, the goals may or may not have very many sub-goals underneath it. But now we're going to talk about creating the plan to achieve the goal. Now, first of all, I want to discuss the difference between a plan and a system. A plan is the collection of all the steps from point A to point Z, along which you have these sub-goals that you have to accomplish. A plan is unique to each situation. A plan does not feature a repeatability factor. So that a plan, simply put, is how I'm going to do this right now. A system is a plan that is much more elaborate, much more healthy, much more repeatable. In a system includes processes. These processes must be done in order to accomplish the sub-goals. The system processes are repeatable, they are sustainable, they are things that can be analyzed. And that analysis is a key factor in your system. You have to have the ability to go back, look at the system, fix what did not work correctly, and improve upon it to make the next version of the system. Over time, that system becomes the perfect system for achieving a goal. Now, first of all, having a system in place is critical for some of the smaller, shorter-term goals that any person or business has in mind. Mainly because if you have repeatability, you're going to have sustained and repeatable results every time. Think of it like a restaurant. A restaurant fixes the hamburger the exact same way every time, so that anyone who goes in and orders that hamburger is going to get the exact same hamburger every time. That is having a system. Also, when you have a system, you can stop and take a look at it and change a little bit with the time. Great example of that is the introduction of computers and the internet to the business world. The businesses that took their system and figured out how to make it work online survived. Those that never could have failed or are starting to fail. You see that a lot with the newspapers and other media. So having a system gives you repeatability. It gives you the ability to adapt. It gives you consistent results. All of those things are critical if you're going to implement a process in your business or in your life to achieve certain goals. Now, the downside to a system is it takes a lot longer to figure out than the plan. Another downside of the system is it does require consistent and repeated monitoring so you can go back and alter what needs to be done. You have to be honest with yourself about where the breakdowns in the system are. If you are not honest with yourself, the system will collapse upon itself. That is a universal truth. People who are not honest with themselves about their successes and their failures will end up with more failures than successes. So, exactly where does this plan come from? Where does this system come from? Go back to your original goal. You've got your sheet, you've got your goal, you've got your sub-goals. Your plan comes first and foremost by filling in how you get to those sub-goals, and then how you get from those sub-goals to the final goal. Let's go back to one of the examples we used before. You're going to paint your bedroom. Sub-goal, get the paint, pick a color. Those are sub-goals. So now the plan is, how do I pick a color? Well, first I go to the home goods store, find the paint color little cards, take them back, see which one matches my stuff. Okay, so now here's the plan. Saturday, I go to Lowe's, I check out the paint swatches, pick a few to look at. Find a couple of colors that I like, go back to Lowe's, find the paint that I want, take it home, and paint. Oh no, wait, I left out a sub-step, didn't I? I've got to get the stuff to paint with, the drop cloths, the paint brushes, the rollers, all that kind of stuff. So now I have to go back and edit my plan again. That's a simple plan. What about a more complex one? Getting your house ready for sale. Same thing. Start with your sub-goals. Sub-goal 1 on getting a new house in 7 years. Figure out everything that needs to be fixed on my current home. Okay, so how do I do that? Step 1, go through the house and make a note of everything that needs to be changed. Step 2, hire a home inspector. Have them do a home inspection. Repair the items they say to repair. Step 3, monitor my grounds. Make sure that I don't need new grass, to cut the grass, to change the water flow, any number of things like that, and so on. Once you fill in how to achieve each sub-step, you will have your plan for achieving the longer term goal. Now, how do I convert that plan into a process? First of all, you have your goals. You have your sub-goals, you have your steps, you have your plan. Now you apply the plans to a checklist and create a "this is always done here." Those two examples that I use, painting your bedroom and buying a new house, are atypical things. They are things that you do not do on a daily basis. So a system really doesn't apply there. But if it's something that you do on a daily basis, the system would. A great example at a business is that the most successful businesses have a every morning, every night checklist. Every single morning, these things are done in this order. And the checklist starts with open the door, turn off the alarm, turn on the lights. And it goes all the way through the day, and then in the evening it ends with turn on the alarm, exit, lock the door. So what you get is every day the exact same steps are followed. Those steps come from that plan to achieve those sub-goals. Now, you monitor the system. So whenever something goes wrong, you make a note of where it went wrong in the system and you fix that part of it. So we're going to go with something we're going to do daily. One of the examples that I like is me needing to lose 40 pounds because I need to lose 40 pounds. So now I've got a plan to lose 40 pounds, but that's not the same as a system. A system requires that I monitor it and that I make adjustments as needed. So now in my system, I'm going to keep a food log where I write down everything that I eat. I'm going to keep an exercise log where I write down how much exercise I get in the day. I'm also going to keep a stress log where I write down what particular stresses that I felt during the day and how I responded to them. Then I take those things together and I monitor it. Then I monitor my weight. I take a look at where I am, how close, how far, and so on. But now I've got a system. Every day I can get up, eat one of these items, write it down. Every day I can do this exercise. And then if something goes wrong, I can look back and see where did I fall off of my system. One of the other main advantages of a system is a system can shift goal achievement from something that you must do yourself to a team effort. While that's critical for an organization or a business, it's also important for your home life, personal life, or even the sole proprietor small business person. If you have a system, you can set it up to work for you instead of by you. Now, it's a little more complicated. It's something that I'm not going to get into today. But a great example of this would fall under the constant contact type programs for emails, or the auto mail out programs where you can pay someone to send out a newsletter for you once a month. Things like that change your time requirement and they help you reach your goals anyway. I hope this makes sense to you. Basically, you write down your goal, write down the sub-goals, write down how you make the sub-goals happen. There's your plan for goal achievement. Turn it into a system. You convert it to a to-do list with repeatable action, monitorable steps, and you analyze it as you go. Now, the next edition of this is going to be on a few helpful hints to making a goal happen. Because right now where we are, we've got the goal in mind. We know why we need the goal. We also have the steps that we've got to take to get it, and we have a plan. I'm going to give you a few helpful hints to make it work a little bit better and help you reach the goal, all right? As always, if you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube page. Also visit my website, ralphharbison.com. If you have any questions or need any advice or would like to see how I could help you or your organization, contact me at ralph@ralphharbison.com. Thanks a lot. Bye.